Welcome to the 169th episode of the Monkeys Fighting Robots podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Sardo. Whew. Our editor-in-chief, Anthony Composto, is in Orlando for MegaCon for the next 4 days. 4 days probably now. And he's getting tons of interviews that we'll be posting on the website. He talked to Tom Taylor today, and he's talked to the fine folks over at Spencer and Locke. If you haven't read that book, we have some good reviews of that. That was the Calvin and Hobbes modern day crazy cop drama. But this week, I want to talk to you about Game of Thrones as we end the final episode is this weekend. War of Realms had an issue come out this week. Robert Pattinson might be the next Bruce Wayne Batman. And then Warner Brothers Animation also dropped the Batman Hush trailer. So there's some Batman stuff going on. There's some Marvel stuff going on. And then we have the finale of Game of Thrones. And you will not hear me talk about The Big Bang Theory that just ended after 12 years. I never watched one episode of that show. It made fun of us. It marginalized nerds. You're like, oh, is that Green Lantern shirt from Big Bang Theory? No, that Green Lantern shirt is from Green Lantern. So I no longer have to worry about that. So thank you, CBS. And hopefully you go make fun of some other group now with whatever group of groups you want to make a TV show out of. With that lovely interlude, we are now sponsored by Anchor, and this is where you'll hear a spot by Anchor promoting Anchor by one of the best voiceover actors in the industry. And thank you so much, Anchor, for this sponsorship, because you make it rain. You make it rain. And we are back. That's a lovely spot. I don't know who that guy is. They gotta pay him more. You gotta pay him more. That's all I'm hearing. All right, so lots of stuff going on. We got Game of Thrones. We got War of Realms. We got Robert Pattinson as the next Batman, maybe. And then we got the Batman Hush trailer dropped by Warner Brothers Animation. So let's go reverse order. I wasn't blown away by the Batman Hush trailer. And this is a tough thing. It's one of those stories where you know all the punchlines and they're going to show it to you. So I guess some people get enjoyment out of that, watching it come to life in animation and seeing that style. But like, for me, when I saw it, when it's not like, I don't know, I'm stuck in my Batman the animated universe with the voices and the animation. If it was done that way, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I might want to watch that. But it's got this, it's got the modern look that they're using for the animation, and I don't know who's voicing Batman, but it's not my guy. It's not my guy. I mean, what are they? Does he want too much? Is he doing too many other things? But I wasn't blown away, and it's but I mean, it exposes the storyline to a whole nother generation. It adds more content to the DC Universe platform, which I hope sticks around or gets combined with whatever Warner Brothers comes out with. But check it out. I mean, there's some good things in there, but if you've read the book and you've looked at Jim Lee's artwork and, you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And then you like see the end, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I kind of feel things, things like that. But, it didn't wow me. It didn't wow me. And then, what else is going on? We got Bobby cast as Bruce Wayne, or possibly. I mean, they've been talking about this guy for a while now, and he's been in the circles. What's been going on? I really don't care at this point in time. Who's Batman? Before, like, there used to be like consequences. There used to be a DC cinematic universe going on, but now there isn't. They're just going to tell stories, and that's fine. That's fine as well. I like Matt Reeves as a director. I think he's going to produce a good product. Do I care who's under the cowl? I mean, I still wish that Affleck was there for them to kind of like finish off like the Justice League and have that universe kind of do their thing. I'd be fine with Affleck coming back 10 years from now and them doing some sort of Dark Knight Returns where it's all bitter and everything like that. That'd be good. I mean, he looks like a rich kid. I mean, that's what Bruce Wayne is. Bruce Wayne's a rich kid. He looks like a rich kid. I mean, he's 6'1", he's 33 years old. He's 10 years younger than me. I'm not 43 yet. I'm 42, but at least he's somewhat tall. He'll have a different frame than Ben Affleck. He'll have more of the Christian Bale frame. I just, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, there's petitions for everything. It's like, oh my God, change your mind, do this, blah, blah. There's a fan outrage on everything. The fan outrage, just the way it works is you don't support something. If you don't like something, don't buy it or don't watch it. Like, that's how things change. Like, if you watch it or buy it and then you're like, you gripe about it afterwards and you petition it, businesses don't care. They already have your money. So the only way to like get change is to stop buying or stop watching. Yipping and yammering on the interwebs isn't going to get anything done. And it's just, it's going to maybe make you feel better, or you can commiserate with other people. I don't know. It's just, we're getting into a lot of yipping and yammering. That's just really, it's everything. Everything now is a yip and a yammer about everything. And I mean, it's because everybody's got voices and everybody thinks their voices care. I mean, I'm making a podcast. I apparently think my voice cares. But and I'm telling the yip and yammers to stop yipping and yammering. What we all want is a good Batman film. And if we're going to get the best Batman film ever, and it's with Matt Reeves and Pattinson, then let's let it happen. But like, having a freak out beforehand is not going to do anybody any good. Just let the die cast, go see it, and if it stinks, then you use your word of mouth and you tell your friends it stinks. Don't spend your money on it. Wait for it to come to DVD, and then you'll see how things tank like that. Don't buy the toys. Don't buy the adult toys that are made for adults. I mean, don't buy your kids stupid Batman toys that come out there. I mean, like, that's how you can show that you're not happy with a product. But also, like, putting all the negative energy in it before the film even comes out, that's useless to begin with too. Like, I mean, you got to go into these things as fans. We got to go into them being positive. We're like, okay, we got this. Matt Reeves is a solid guy. He's going to make some good decisions. And we'll go from there. But yeah, I would, I don't care either way right now. I'm still a little heartbroken over how things went down with the DC cinematic universe. And, I'm still in the rubble phase. So we'll see what kind of comes out. Still waiting on a damn Flash film that should have came out. Kind of happy with Shazam. Aquaman. I know people hated Aquaman. Like, my friends hated, but that was like so much fun. And it was definitely a comic book movie. It was so epic and craziness. And, I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman. And, I mean, I still want to see another Superman film. I think that should be a staple. But yeah, everybody getting all angry about things. And like signing petitions and getting things made. Like, there needs to be like, I'm trying to think. Like, there needs to be a positive way to critique stuff. And there's got to be a positive way for you to make a stand and not be, like petitions and stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And it's funny because now, like, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about War of Realms. And you're gonna be like, Matt, this is what I think. This is what you're doing. But no, what I am gonna say is, War of Realms. I don't even know if I really want to talk about it. That's how much I don't want to give this book coverage. And if you haven't read the book, I'm going to talk about some spoilers, but it's not really a spoiler. So if you're worried about spoilers in War of Realms, don't listen anymore because at the end of the book, I'm going to pause. At the end of the book, there was a death or deaths, and it was Odin and Freya, Thor's mom and dad, died. And I'm like, how many times has Odin died already? How many times have Freya died already? Those deaths are meaningless to me. So I don't understand why they're there. I really don't. Have a great battle and like swoop in the last second and save them, and they're all beat up and stuff. Like, oh man, those guys were really epic. But the thing that puts me on over the edge or puts me on like just not liking a book, or it just doesn't work for me, is the Jason Aaron's commitment to the sexual relationships of Odin, and having Odin and Freya talk about how they're turned on right before they die. I was like, I don't care. I just don't. It does nothing for me. It kind of turns Odin into this like crazy uncle kind of thing. He does like. I think back in the day when I was reading this, I was kind of you were always kind of scared of Odin because he was kind of like quiet and like held his own and just an imposing will of force that like if the shit hit the fan and you had to call Odin, that means that like the shit has hit the fan. But now he's become a punchline and that's that. And so Odin and Freya kick the bucket, and before they do, they kind of make me vomit in my mouth just a little bit by talking about how much they want to have sex with each other after they kill everything. And I'm like, oh man, it's like Santa Claus talking to Mrs. Claus about having sex. I'm like, no, it just doesn't work on any level. I don't know. There might be like a small little niche Santa Claus sex market out there that might work for somebody. But yeah, War of Realms just isn't working for me, and it stinks because Thor is one of my favorite characters. But like, Thor's gone through, they don't know what to do with the character anymore. That's why Jason Aaron made a different Thor. And then you build up Jane Foster so much, and she's like, "Hey, we gotta rally the troops. We gotta do this stuff." And then like Thor just at the end of the page just pushes right away. Goes, "There's only one person who's gonna handle this. It's gonna be Thor." And I was like, "Oh my god." That was the biggest douche move I've ever seen in comic books, or just in general, of a dude with a girl, and it kind of cracked me up. I don't know, but War of Realms got me lost. I am excited about Jonathan Hickman taking over or relaunching X-Men. I feel bad for Matt Rosenberg, but at any point in time, you can have like a definitive, like, hey, this shit's ending, and we're starting something new. That's going to be like, this is the new flagship of where we're going, and everything else afterwards. You kind of need that in comic books because things are so convoluted. Talking about Thor, like, it wasn't too long ago that Matt Fraction was writing Thor and he was rebooting Thor. It wasn't even before that, like Thor was gone and then he came back, and like, what's it mean to be a god and all these things. And like, I just remember Donald Blake being the guy, and then Donald Blake and Thor were the guy, I guess, and then they gave it to somebody else, and then Thor came back, and he gets angry, and then they get rid of him, and just, I don't know, it just, and it's I feel bad. I feel bad for Thor and company, because I there's certain parts of Jason Aaron's writing that I love, and then I just can't stand his jokes. Like, I like serious Jason Aaron, but I don't like his jokes. So anytime a joke comes in, it just bothers me because I feel like it's ill-timed and stuff like that. All right, that's enough on War of Realms. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is left. That's what we have to talk about. Game of Thrones is left. And man, I really feel bad because I feel like I'm just coming out with like all these negative things, like Game of Thrones, War of Realms. Game of Thrones this season just feels rushed, and that's the problem. Everybody was talking about like Denny. Well, you're either in the camp of like defending the show because you'll defend the show no matter what, or like you feel like there was this turn in Denny that seems out of sorts. And you're correct. Both of you are correct. And I guess this is where I'm coming at this one with Game of Thrones. Like, you are correct that there was a foreshadowing of Denny going crazy. And you are also correct that this also feels like it was out of left field. You both can be correct in this situation because this season has been rushed. Where we're fighting the Night King, we're all doing this, and then all of a sudden it's like we're back to normal. Okay, now the Night King's dead. Let's go yip and yammer and stab people in the back and do all these things. And then like there was one episode of that, and then the next episode it's like Denny's like, everybody's betrayed me. You've all betrayed me. You've all betrayed me. So like you haven't been able to see the slow demise of Denny, which I think with a show like this is what fans deserve. You don't deserve like one episode Denny's acting like this, the next episode she's acting like that, and John's like, I don't know what's going on with this girl, but she's crazy. And that's the other thing is they also don't represent time well this season. Like how long did it take for Jon Snow and his army to march to King's Landing? Because you got Denny. Is it Denny, Darnarius? There's multiple ways of saying her name. I'm just gonna say them all wrong. That's what I'm gonna do. I apologize. When you have Darnarius, she could have flown. Should have got there in like 2 hours. Where like could have taken these guys like a week or two or whatever. But you don't know. You don't know what the time is, and so she might have had this demise coming out different ways. But this is what happens when the show is rushed, and that's what this season's been. It's been like you got the Night King, boom. All right, now we're doing this, boom. Now we're doing this, boom. Like Cersei, like I feel like that was like there was no point of her being there. Like she said 3 lines, and she's like, and we're done. And Jamie's turn felt rushed. They're just killing off. They're just killing off characters to kill off characters, and that's what the problem is with this. Where you're like, oh, the Hound should have survived. The Hound needs to survive. I don't know if we can find him under the rubble, but we should be able to find the Hound. But what did that serve? I guess maybe zombie guy could have held up the building if when the building fell down on Cersei. I mean, you already did that once before, but I guess that's what you pulled that guy, so she's one more removed, and she's able to. I don't know, it's tough. Even how things are going to end out here. My gripe with the series is with the Night King. Like you have this big event of these like walkers and Night King and these frost giants and everything. You're like, oh man, I'm like, what does this mean? And there's no meaning to it. It was just a plot device. Like this is a plot device, but there was nothing about that. Like you didn't learn anything new. Like what would be really cool? What would be if I was writing this series is that like if Daenerys goes crazy and she gets the throne and stuff like that, but she doesn't want to kill Jon Snow, but like something happens with Jon Snow where he becomes so heartbroken, so whatever, that he walks to the north and like he goes into the Night King village and he becomes the next Night King. And there's that like Mad Queen, Jon Snow being the Night King, and then it just kind of like resets and they're like, the world that will let everybody battle it out again, and then the army, the dead people will just keep going, and Jon will bring, and maybe Jon's supposed to cleanse the world, but he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he's like some sort of like Noah's Ark kind of thing, where it's the Night King's supposed to rain down and wipe everybody out, and then you rebuild civilization, and hopefully you learn from your mistakes and you go from there. But I wanted there to be more with the Night King. I wanted there to be like a why, how, or they're probably just a why. I need the why on that one. Because basically we finished with the Night King and then we act like nothing happened. Like, oh, there's like one speech and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, none of that really happened. And we're going to go back to squabbling and we're going to go back to, like, oh, I'm going to bribe you to do this. I'm going to bribe you to that. Blah, blah. I'm like, fuck you. We just blew up the Night King. Like, we came together as humanity. Like, blah, blah. We can do anything. I don't care about your little petty little squabble because, like, I just killed some zombies. Like, I don't know. The whole thing feels off. And it's rushed. That's the thing. It's rushed. This is tough. It's tough. I don't know how they're going to wrap up the series in, like, one episode and kind of end it on a good note. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even have to end on a good note. Maybe Jon gets whacked and Dany's like, Iron Throne, bitches. And that's what you have. And I just rule. I have my dragon, and I come at me, bro. Like, that's how it could end. I don't know. That could be what happens here. So, what are your thoughts on Game of Thrones? If you listen to this podcast, definitely chime in on Facebook, Twitter, comment below. Anchor now has this thing where you can just like record your voice and just send me a voice message, and that'd be kind of cool. Because I can play them back on the show. It's kind of like calling in, and that'd be pretty sweet. So, but if you're at MegaCon, go look for Anthony, say hi. Go say hi to Mike Perkins. Trying to think who else is up there. Tom King is up there. We're gonna try to get more interviews. So go to Monkeys Fighting Robots this weekend or on Monday, and you'll probably see a whole bunch of videos from us. Like us on Facebook. I'm trying to think. We just passed 6,000 on Instagram. So thank you very much for all that support. And, that seems to be the platform now where people engage and there's actual conversations and dialogue. And, until Facebook says like, hey, you got to pay for interactions because you're a business. We'll try to find the best medium to talk with you guys and converse. So I'm Matt Sardo. This is Monkeys Fighting Robots. You have a great weekend.